How's everybody doing? My name's Mike, and we got my dog Roots hanging out on place right here. Doing a good job, buddy. And we also got Miss Ava with us today, and she is hanging out on her place. So today what we're going to talk about, we're doing a little bit differently. I'm trying out this new camera angle that I think might be very beneficial for owners. So we're going to try this. And I want to show you guys just how to hold a leash. This is very basic, and it's very necessary, and it's the first thing you need to know before you even really have a dog. So the first thing, let me just adjust this a little bit here. Now the first thing you need to know is that the loop on the end of the leash is not meant for your hand. It is meant for your thumb. And then you will wrap the rest of your fist, your 4 fingers, around that loop. And this is how you hold the end of the leash, just like this. Now, the idea is you don't wrap it around you or anything like this. The idea of this is to have a way to work with the dog. So like this, we'll get to our left hand in a minute. Let's just talk about the right hand. But while I'm holding the leash like this is kind of like my anchor point for the end of the leash. I can have the dog heel close to me, and I can also let go of the leash and let the dog work and go to the bathroom or do whatever, and I have the end of the leash. And it's not going anywhere, but it also can't get stuck. I can also get my thumb out of it in case if for some crazy emergency I need to get this leash off of me. Holding the leash this way gives me the ability to do anything I need to do. I can let go of it in a way that it's not going to take me, time to unwrap or anything like that. And the biggest reason we don't want to wrap our hand up in the leash, I know it seems convenient, but anything we're doing with the dog, we have to consider what is the message we are sending the dog. If we are wrapping our leash up like this is saying, I'm ready for battle, I'm ready for you to pull me, and all this other stuff that we don't want. It says you're anxious, you're unsure, it says so many things, so many messages we do not want to send to the dog. So this is the habit you want to get into. Every time you grab the leash with your right hand, the end of the leash, your right thumb goes through there, and then you wrap your fist around it. Okay, and then you're going to take your left hand. You got to grab the end of the leash out of her paw here, and then we take our left hand, and there's like a double stitching on the leash here. So your left hand's going to go almost right to that double stitching almost every single time you work with the dog when they're heeling. The reason is we want the leash short, but not taut. So we want it short when they're walking with us, and it should be nice and loose like that. The leash should not be tight. It should not be taut. If you watch people walk, generally when they're walking and having a tough time, the leash is taut. We want the leash to be loose, short and loose. So you're gonna always put that left hand's gonna go right next to the dog, like very close. You see right there, my hand is very close to her. And then what happens with your right hand now we have the left hand. Okay, sorry. Let me also explain. Even holding the leash can be, it's a simple thing, but it requires, you have to be very specific in how you do it. There's a lot of nuances. So with my left hand, I'm not holding it like this. I'm holding it with my fist over like this. So my thumb's facing me, and the leash is coming out of my pinky there. Meaning the last thing the leash is touching is my pinky. The reason we do that is because this encourages the dog to walk more behind us. If I flip it around like this, that's going to encourage her to actually go forward. Simply just the way the leash is coming off of my hand is sending a message to her, and will want to make her walk more forward. If I hold like this, when she walks backwards, it'll actually be tugging her forward. So we want to be like this, and in case she does try to forge ahead, I can give her a correction basically with my fingers, just like that. So now you have your right hand in the end of the leash. You have your left hand set up by your dog in the correct position. The last piece of the puzzle is taking your index finger, and grab the extra slack, and you just curl your finger around it, and pull it through just like that, so you just have a little knot. And now you have a nice two-handed way of operating the leash. And now she can be sitting, I can tell her, okay, go to the bathroom or whatever, and then I can let go of the leash and let her use the restroom. And then when I want her to heel, I go and grab the leash, grab the leash back up right into the position that I want. Sorry guys, I keep tapping my screen so I can see what's going on. So if we're in this position here and I want to get back to the position, left hand goes there, finger comes, and now we're in our perfect walking position here. So again, one more time, you have the leash, you're going to take your right hand, you're going to put your thumb through the loop, and you're going to grab the loop with your right hand. And then you're going to take your left hand, that's going to slide all the way to the double stitching here. And you're going to have your fist facing in a way where your thumb faces you and your pinky faces the dog. And then for the last part, you're going to take your index finger and you're going to put it right to your thumb and grab the extra slack and then just slide it through just like that. See that? And now you have a very nice way to walk the dog. And if you do this every single time with your dog, you are now sending a message of, I know what I'm doing, I'm prepared. And I'm prepared to handle you in a way that's gonna be comfortable for me and it's gonna be comfortable for you. And they become very secure. They understand that we know what we're doing. Place. So again, if I go to grab the leash, I grab it, thumb goes through, heel, just like that. Sit. Good girl, good sit, good dog, good girl. Heel. Hey, give her a little correction if she goes too fast. And that's why we're holding the leash this way. Sit. We're holding the leash this way with our left hand so we have the ability to correct her. It's very important. Place. And just right there too, when I tell her place, it's very important that I have the ability to lead her with my left hand in the direction that I want her to go in. And that is ultimately what the leash is for. It is also known as a lead. So it's because it is meant to be used as a tool to lead the dog into the positions that we would like them in. Now there's also a one-handed way to hold the leash. I'll show you that real quick. I'm not really gonna break that down right now because if you're a beginner and you're a new dog owner and you're just getting started in training, you should be holding it with two hands, not one. With one hand, the dog's always on our left side at heel, so with one hand, you would hold the leash in your left hand, you'd put your thumb through there, and then you would grab the slack here, and it would go just like that. And now that's what it looks like. It's nice and neat the way it's kind of bundled up. I'm trying not to disturb her, but yeah, it's all nice and neat like that. So when we do it with one hand, we have a very specific way of doing it, and there's actually several different types of locks we can do on the leash. Again, that's not something we're going to get into today. Today we're just talking about the two-handed method that we just went over, and that's something you want to do every time you grab the leash. And even if you don't have your dog right now, if you're getting a puppy, you can practice this before you have the dog. Get a leash, practice this with your hands, because I guarantee it's not going to be something that you get right away when you grab the leash. You know, it's a tool and it's something you have to create muscle memory with. And the way you do that is by repetitions. And you definitely want to have a specific way of holding the leash. You do not want to just willy-nilly grab the leash, bundle it up. It looks messy. It's going to be inconvenient for you. The dog is going to see you stressing over the leash. So this is one way that we get that whole thing pushed aside, and we don't have to worry about any sloppiness with the leash if we have a specific way of holding it for the dog.